How's it going, guys? It's the Pixelated Pumpkin, and today I'm bringing you another episode of Rip-Offs, this time a Nightcrawler only edition. Since Sunstar went a little bit hog wild with the Nightcrawler rip-off this year, if you recall, I believe it was last year or maybe even 2 years ago at this point, they ripped off Nightcrawler, and it was probably one of the best looking Sunstar props if we're being honest here. But still, it was a complete abomination of Nightcrawler. But this year, they reused that same head mold on a few more props. This is going to be a much shorter rip-off video, because they didn't do that many, but they still did enough that warrants me talking about it. So anyways, I'm just going to be bringing you another episode of some rip-offs, and I'm looking forward to it since you guys love this series. But before we get into it, I'm going to need everybody to like and subscribe, of course. And with all that out of the way, let's get started with the Nightcrawler rip-offs. Obviously, this is the real Nightcrawler, and here's the ripoff. But if we're being honest, this is actually a pretty good prop for Sunstar. And I think they did actually an accurate job ripping off the prop, and definitely one of the best looking Sunstar props to date. But obviously, it looks a million times more cheap, and definitely very stupid looking as well. But I will commend that they got the face mold down actually really accurately. Obviously, still, it looks way cheaper with the LED eyes just sticking out of the eyeballs instead of having those really cool eyes that Nightcrawler has. But this ripoff is not a complete failure like many of the other ones we looked at in this series, and I have to definitely give them credit for that here. But still, the fact that it's ripping off a great prop is just so stupid. But one thing it did that Nightcrawler didn't is that it has a different foot mold from the hand molds. Obviously, those are reused molds, but still, I'm surprised that they actually changed that about him, which is something the original Nightcrawler didn't do. Maybe better or worse in your opinion, I don't know. But still, of course, this is just a horrendous cheap knockoff. It looks so stupid. And what's even worse is the animation. Instead of having a great jump scare like Nightcrawler has, this thing just moves its head around really weirdly. Just a traditional Sunstar motor that just looks so stupid. Especially the way the arms move. It looks like he's rotating his shoulders, which he shouldn't even have because he's on all fours like that, which I just don't even understand what's really happening with the animation here. Seriously, this is such a crap prop. But if we're being honest, this is probably the most accurate ripoff to date, and I think there was some effort here. Obviously, they couldn't come up with enough effort to create an original design, but in terms of ripping it off, they did a swell job. I'm not sure I need to show you this photo of the real Nightcrawler every time we introduce another ripoff, but they're all ripping off the same prop here, so I might as well. But anyways, here's the next ripoff, and oh man, this thing looks like it's in pain to exist. I'm guessing this is supposed to be some sort of zombie groundbreaker using Nightcrawler's head, and it just looks so stupid. Obviously, the head mold actually kind of fits here for the prop it's going for, but still, it's so obvious it's Nightcrawler, and it just takes all the immersion out of the prop, and it just looks so cheap anyways. I just really hate how this thing looks. Nightcrawler should not be green looking. It just looks so weird. The hand molds actually look nice, but of course they're reused. They can't make anything original. All has to be recycled, which I guess is actually pretty good, but not in terms of when it's creativity, so that kind of sucks. But anyways, this thing just looks so stupid. It looks like it's 2 feet tall. It just looks like one of the most generic groundbreakers ever using Nightcrawler's head, which is basically the only thing that makes it special. And it is just a really stupid looking ripoff. I guess the cool thing here is that it actually lights up green, but why would its body be glowing? That doesn't make sense either. It's just another stupid ripoff to add to the books. And I'll let you decide for yourself if the head actually fits the prop or not. Once again, here's the real Nightcrawler. Obviously, I don't need to show you this photo, but it just makes it easier to do a big introduction for the next ripoff. Oh yeah, I got you there. But anyways, here it is. Hopefully, I didn't make you, have a major bowel movement right there. Because yes, this thing is terrifying. Not because it's scary, but because of how ridiculously dumb looking it is. I swear to God, what is this thing supposed to be? Well, let's try to break it down and analyze. So obviously it's using Nightcrawler's head, that's no surprise as all these props do, but what is this trying to be here? Well, I'm guessing it's supposed to be some sort of angel or demon with wings, like a death angel or something like that, but then why is it a groundbreaker? I'm sorry, why? It could just be a standing prop, but the next one's a standing prop, and well, we'll just wait till we get there. But anyways, this one is seriously terrible as well. Look at the ribcage right there. I mean, it looks so cheap. I'm not even sure if that's supposed to be bones. I really can't tell with how dumb and stupid and cheap it looks. But for the prop itself, it's very unique, but a complete abomination at the same time. It looks extremely cheap. Look how wire thin the arms look. I mean, just God. And they couldn't even use any thicker fabric. You could literally see the pole through the fabric here. What? God, Sunstar. Well, what do we expect? These props have no budget as they are anyways. Just another terrible Nightcrawler ripoff. And, you know, the face mold here at least is back to being its normal color, not that hideous green color like from before. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this one. A serious odd abomination. I'm not sure what's happening. And for the last time of this video, here is the real Nightcrawler. So, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on the way you look at it, they didn't make too many of these ripoffs using Nightcrawler's head. But I'm sure this won't be the last time, and I'm sure next year we will have a lot more, as this becomes one of the many reused heads being put into circulation at Sunstar. So don't be surprised if we see about 30 more props using this head in the future. But anyways, with all that, here is the ripoff, and oh man, this is by far the worst one of this video, and it is just a disgrace to Halloween as we know it. This has to be one of the most unholy creations from Sunstar, probably one of the worst ripoffs of all time. This prop is quite literally just a pole with the Nightcrawler ripoff head slapped on top of it. They didn't even try to make this prop look good or original or anything. It is literally just a sheet of cloth on a pole with that horrible looking head. To put it simply, this prop is basically if you force Nightcrawler to stand up instead of crawl, and it does not look good at all. At least with the other ones, they were all actually either groundbreakers or the actual Nightcrawler pose, which of course they can only muster up the budget to make one of those. But anyways, this is the first actually full standing one we have, and no, please go back to just being a groundbreaker. This thing is so terrible. I cannot believe how cheap this one looks. This is by far the most thrown together, sloppily produced Halloween animatronic I think we've all ever seen. If you can name one worse that's from any company, I'd be glad to take a look at it and compare it, because seriously, this has to be the most lazy design I've ever seen. It's just a rip-off head thrown onto a pole. There's nothing else put into it. It seriously just looks hideous, and not the scary hideous like you want from a Halloween prop. This has to be the goofiest looking Halloween animatronic I've ever seen. Seriously, what is Sunstar thinking when they made this? I don't understand it. It looks horrendous. Easily the worst Nightcrawler ripoff, and potentially one of the worst ripoffs of all time. Now, if you want me to rank the ripoffs from bad to worst, because there's not a single good one, let's be honest, I want to get at least 250 likes on this video. I think we can make it happen. I know this was a little bit of a shorter ripoffs video, but again, they didn't make that many, so I guess unfortunate for me, because I would love to talk about these all day long, but we can only take so many ripoffs, so am I right? But anyways, guys, remember, if we get 250 likes on this video, I will be glad to rank every single ripoff from bad to worst. But anyways, guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this look at all the Nightcrawler ripoffs, and again, I'm sure there's going to be many more to come. But with all that, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and as always, it's the Pixelated Pumpkin, signing out.